everybody, welcome back again. Because I cooked so much yesterday, there's a lot of stuff I want to make for you guys that you can use your leftovers, and hopefully you can save these videos or just find them on my YouTube, Foodie Princess on YouTube. That way when it's Thanksgiving and you've made your meal and you have all these leftovers, you have some ideas of what to do. So I'm going to talk to you about stock today. Do you know the difference between stock and broth? Well, broth is made from just the meat. If you're talking about chicken or turkey stock. Stock is made from the bones and the meat and aromatics. So stock is really rich, it's flavorful, you can freeze it. I have some here from last night, and of course you can strain the fat off if you want, but you want some of the fat in there because that's what makes it taste so good. You can put it through a strainer, of course, and keep it. It keeps in the fridge for a while, or you can freeze it. You can freeze them into ice cube trays if you want to have just a little bit for recipes. But stock is amazing, and you can do it with beef stock, beef bones, whatever you have left over. A lot of times we're throwing that stuff away when it could be made into some really delicious goodness. So anytime you're preparing a dish, like you're gonna make, say it's Thanksgiving and you're going to make your stuffing, and you've got like the ugly parts of the celery you're not using, you've got some extra onion, you've got whatever, carrots, you're gonna put that into your stock, okay? So you're gonna start with a stock pot. I'm gonna rotate this just so you guys can see the pot. There's the pot. There we go. Hi, Hal. Just get a big pot, whatever you got. Doesn't have to be fancy. This is my husband's before I even married him, you know, so I use this for stock. So what you want are basic things. So you want herbs. So I've just went out in my garden. I have parsley, rosemary, thyme, whatever you like. You put it in here. If you're doing an Asian-inspired stock, you could do things like fresh lemongrass. You could do ginger. You know, there's a lot of aromatics you could put in there, of course. Totally up to you. I'm just making a basic stock, and you can always doctor it up later. I'm going to turn that down. So I've just got water in here boiling. I'm not going to add salt to it. I'm going to add some peppercorn, whole peppercorns. Hey Jamie. So I'm going to put, I don't know, like a handful. Yeah, it's like maybe a half a teaspoon or so. And this is all going to get strained out. This is just for flavor. I'm wearing my butcher's gloves. John, I have your gloves. I love it. It's just so easy that I can take them off and I don't have to go and wash my hands. Carrots, I've washed them really well. These are organic carrots, but whatever you got, you know, you don't have to be so fancy. I'm just going to give them one chop, and I'm going to throw them in there. This all gets strained out, guys. This is not part, you know, you don't want to make your soup and your stock in one pot. You want to make stock, and then we're going to make soup with the stock. I have an onion. I'm just going to cut it in. I'm just going to quarter it, just to give it, you know, more space for the flavors to infuse. Put the whole onion in there. Okay. I've got some celery pieces. I'm going to leave these in whole like this. They're not too big. So I like the green parts on them. I just think it's flavorful. That goes in there. I'm going to dump my herbs in there. Just literally, they're washed. They're from my garden, you know. And then some garlic cloves. I like garlic. We talk about that all the time. If you don't like garlic, don't add it. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to smash them, peel them, and throw them in. And you, honestly, it doesn't take much prep because this isn't something you're serving. Now, this is really hard to work with gloves. That's one thing I'm noticing. I don't work in a restaurant. I'm not a chef. If you guys don't know that, I'm just telling you right now. I am a housewife. I have a career as a food critic. I used to be on a show on PBS, which I am no longer on. I am doing my own thing. So I've never worked in a commercial kitchen. No, I'm not opening a restaurant. No, I'm not working in somebody's restaurant. I'm just cooking for my family. That's what I like to do. Okay, so we've got our aromatics. We've got carrot, celery, peppercorns. I'm going to get rid of this. Herbs, all that good stuff. Now, if you just watched my video, you saw me spatchcock a turkey. So, and again, if you're doing a chicken, same thing. Here's that backbone. This is love, you guys. The bones in stock have collagen, and that's what gives that stock that really beautiful, glistening kind of, I can't even talk. I'm too excited. It just gives it that beautiful texture, and it's a little thicker, a little richer, if you will, because the collagen comes out. But there's a lot of meat on this. So this is going to flavor. I'm going to put that right in there. And then more bones that I took off of there, and that's just blob with that. I'm not going to add that. Now, I also, if you watched yesterday's video, we made a turkey. We actually roasted a whole turkey. And guess what, guys? I saved that carcass. I have some meat bones in here too. I'm gonna keep that and I'm gonna make some beef stock with it. But this one's already cooked, so this is gonna cook a little differently than the raw, and that's fine. For me, I don't mind that. I'll probably just, I'll probably cut this up a little bit or break it up just so that it fits a little bit better in my pot. But I'm gonna put this carcass in here. Save your turkey carcass, guys. It'll make great soup, and all that roasted flavor is gonna go in there. So I can cover this, and I'm just gonna cook it. I brought it up to a boil. I'm gonna cook it low and slow, and this is gonna make some glorious stock for some of the, my ring's gone, for some of the glorious recipes that I'm gonna talk to you about later. And when I talk to you about spatchcocking, practice it, serve the chicken for dinner to your family, and start saving all those extra pieces. Put them in if you guys have I call it a flavor saver. It's, you know, those things that suction out, you know what I'm talking about? the thing that suction out all the air and makes it like airtight, or a baggie, but just take the air out. Start saving all your pieces of like bones and whatever, and put them in the freezer, and then pull them out and add another, put it in and freeze it. So that when it comes time to make stock, you have a lot left over, and then you can make a big pot of stock. Same thing with vegetables. Every time you cut like a icky, just throw it in the bag, and then you can add it. It's kind of like, I don't want to say garbage bowl, but it kind of is. It's the stuff that you would, you know, it's not really pretty, so you're not serving it up on your platter, but it makes a fabulous stock. And with this stock, you're going to be using, you can make it for your gravies that you're going to serve for your holidays or every day. You're going to use it for soup bases. You're going to use it to season, to flavor everything. I use stock in so many recipes. So beef stock, same thing. You know, take the bones off. I've got some bones left over from the prime rib. I'm going to go ahead and use those to make some bone stock, some beef, you know, bone broth, if you will. If they're fresh bones, you want to roast them. You actually want to parboil them, like a really thick bone. You want to like kind of parboil them in some water and then get rid of that water. And then you want to put them out on dry them and put them onto a baking sheet and put them in the oven and kind of dry roast them a little bit, and then put them into your pan, and then you strain this when it's all done. So at the end of the day, when this is done, and you'll know it looks beautiful, your house smells amazing. You're going to strain it into a bit, you know, get a strainer and strain all this stuff into a bowl. You can pick off the meat if you want to, that's kind of, you know, on the bone, that's still on there, and you can save it and put it in your soup if you want. But you're basically going to get rid of everything else. Everything else goes in the trash. We're not keeping that. Or if you're compost, you can put it in your garden, whatever you want to do. The stock is what you're keeping. Any of the little bits that are in there, those go in the trash. We're not using those because you know, the flavor's leached out of them. That's why your broth and your stock taste so good, is because all those beautiful things you put in there have given their love, and now it's time for a burial in the trash can. So the stock that you're left with is rich and dark and beautiful, and it's full of flavor. And trust me, when you're making these things from scratch, you're saving money, because those bottles of stock that you buy in the grocery store are like $4. They're not, you know, you're controlling what's going in them, so you know, you don't know what's going on in their stock pots in these big factories. You're controlling the sodium. I do not salt my stock. I keep it unsalted because stock typically is very salty, and so I would rather it be unsalted, and then I can season as I'm, you know, going depending on what I'm making. So I don't want a like heavily laden salty broth or stock. So you're taking control of your own health by making it yourself, and you're saving money, and it's all the stuff you're probably throwing away. So save that neck bone, save those chicken thighs. And that's another thing. If you don't have a whole chicken and you want to make some stock, buy some chicken thighs, bone in, you got to have bones, or chicken wings, a big bag of chicken wings, and just boil them. You know, that'll work. Chicken wings are great because you want bones. That's the whole idea of making stock, is you want bones. You don't want boneless chicken breasts, guys. Boneless means flavorless. There are times when you want to use boneless meat, but bones removed means the meat isn't as delicious. So please don't make your chicken soup with chicken breasts, boneless skimmed chicken breast. Every time I see that, I'm like, where's the bones? Yeah, it's not going to be very flavorful, I'm just telling you. Unless you already have your beautiful stock that you've made, and then, sure, if you want to do that. But everybody knows dark meat is better. Dark meat is where the flavor is. So breast meat is great sometimes, but dark meat is where the real flavor is, in my opinion. Okay, so if you missed the other video, it's on my Foodie Princess YouTube. So if you go and hit subscribe, I would love it. And I will be back later on making soup from the turkey and showing you the stock. I'm going to be making turkey pot pie sometime this weekend. And then Monday, I have my friend Veronica. She's going to be making delicious scratch-made pumpkin pies. And then we're going to teach you about boozy whipped cream. And for those of you that get freaked out about booze, like, just so FYI, vanilla extract has booze in it. So we're just talking about like a teaspoon in whipped cream. It just elevates the flavor. So think salted caramel whipped cream, cinnamon dolce whipped cream, amaretto whipped cream, Kahlua whipped cream. The possibilities are endless. Fireball, cinnamon whipped cream for your pumpkin pie. So check us out Monday. It'll probably go live around 6-ish Pacific time for Monday. And then today, the weekend, I don't know when I'm going to go live. I go live whenever I can, like, get my kids out of the kitchen and, you know, start cooking, or I'm hungry and I'm starving. So I'm deciding to cook because I want some food. Okay, guys, thanks so much for the support, and I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day.